Welcome back to beautiful Phoenix, Arizona. We're here for the inaugural weekend of regular season play for the Western Ultimate League. We've got the San Francisco Falcons squaring off against the Utah Wild. Clear conditions here, warm and sunny. Should be an interesting game. As Utah taking a second game in a row, we'll bring you inside the booth to welcome you for today's broadcast. Hi, welcome everybody. This is Michael Simeone here with Caitlin Dowse, number 17 with the Arizona Sidewinders, defensive standout from yesterday evening. Caitlin, as we think about these teams and what they've got going on for this game, what's going through the players' minds as they get ready to play?
I think both teams are obviously very excited to be here. It's a bit of a warm day, so that plays a factor. But Utah Wild, after having a loss last night, is going to come out rearing ready to go. And San Francisco just the same, after Winter Cup a couple months ago. So we're excited to see how it unfolds.
Yeah, speaking of the Wild, let's take a look at their starting offense now. As they try to bring the energy after a hard-fought game last night, it'll be interesting to see what they have in the tank as they square off this afternoon against a team, San Francisco, who should be relatively fresh. Let's take a look at Corey Bigham, offensive standout from last night, injured on a play, trying to make a bid in the end zone. It looks like she's suited up and will give it a go today, Caitlin.
Yeah, Corey's an absolutely phenomenal player, known for her speed and her layouts. I had the pleasure of playing with her during the West versus the Tempest Showcase game last summer, and she is just a phenomenal player, so I'm excited to see what she brings again tonight. It was not fun marking her last night. So.
Looks like she's got some compression on that knee, but is going to give it a go. Several really impressive bids for the disc and great activity.
She is
last
tough,
night.
so.
San Francisco looking to be ready here. Let's take a look at their starting offense.
That's a good lineup. Patricia Anderson, great handler. Looking to see a lot of big throws from her today.
Let's take a look at Shayla Harris on the San Francisco Falcons, looking to lead her team to a quick start against the Wild.
Shayla played phenomenally at the Winter Cup in December, so again, excited to see what new stuff she brings to the table today.
Yeah, as we mentioned last night, both teams are going to be learning more and more about themselves as they're trying to suss out their opponents. And here we are. Falcons pulling to the Wild.
Great pull.
Searching downfield here, across the field. Looks like it's going to be taken away.
An immediate D.
Those crossing passes haunted the Wild last night. Let's see if they can get more completions today. Oh, and it's a score right out the bat. Transition into offense.
Give that goal to Audrey Sheehy.
Audrey Sheehy breaking into that quick space, but it looks like there might be a call here.
Foul on the play.
Looks like there's going to be a foul on the play as the observers get involved.
San Francisco made quick work of that, so let's see if they can do that again.
The Wild trying to test that inside-out space with the high passes again.
After the
they're going to need to clean that up today if they're going to eke out a win here.
Falcons swinging to center now. We'll have another stoppage.
That's a false start penalty.
Just got the disc moving before things were checked in officially. Back on offense now.
Centering to Michelle McGee. Sends it up the middle. Back to McGee.
Falcons, very patient offense. Moving the disc left to right. Looks like they're content to move from center to sideline for now. Big backhand to the break side. Inside look. It's a score.
It's a score. What a shot.
Great vision there. Their first transition was taken away, but great vision in the middle of the end zone. San Francisco leads 1-0.
That was a great shot. Hopefully we can see that again. That inside break works well for them. I know Patricia Anderson puts those up as well. So if you got multiple players on the team who can hit that in the end zone, you're looking pretty good when you get in the red zone.
Really appreciated the way that was an IO throw, but it found more of the middle of the end zone. Nice angle. Excelled last night when they were able to get their offense moving quickly. And if the Falcons were watching at all, they might be crowding those inside lanes on the passes.
Vespa moving it up to, I think that's Kira, or Kayak as she goes by.
Looks like Crowley swinging wide. Gonna be an away pass to the end zone. Oh, nearly there. A great attempt at trying to cash in by Sarah Stoller of the Wild.
Really was hoping she'd reel it in. It looks like there's a call, maybe a foul on the mark.
Looks like this one's going to be coming back, yes.
Back of the hands of Vespera.
Aragon looking downfield now.
Aragon's got huge hucks, so it doesn't surprise me that she ripped that one. Let's see. Oh.
A drop here, but the Wild testing the break side of the field as a response to some of the defense they're seeing now.
San Francisco has another chance here.
San Francisco happy to lose yards. Cutter's open in space underneath so far. Let's see if the Wild can bother them and get them off their game.
Nice grab.
Great grab by the Falcons. That's Jacqueline Wynn making that grab.
Another save on that dump there.
Montana Roberts with a terrific catch. Back to the middle. Easy pass underneath. You get the sense these Falcons are working it underneath very efficiently from this first sample of points. Falcons looking now as middle field empty. A creative pass and a drop.
That was a nice wide open swing. Unfortunately, stuff happens.
We talked about the wind picking up just a little bit coming towards the viewers now. I think it caused that pass to rise up just a little bit more than they had preferred.
Aragon with the disc again. Big swing to the other side.
Looks like it's going to be contested, but it's hauled in. Melinda Alvey with the grab there. Disc is up. Wide open receiver, double covered now. Can't make it happen.
2-on-1 down there, but it looked like it was
Kendra Miller
dropped,
in a great spot, but it hung for a little while. And looks like there's going to be another call that'll be coming back.
Lots of calls to start off this game.
Looks like there's a lot of intensity on the marks on defense, and that's generating some contact on the throw. Now that's the second time that Aragon has drawn contact on those deep shots. Be interesting to see if the mark adjusts by taking a step off.
Absolutely. Again, she is one of their huckers, so it doesn't surprise me that she steps out big and wide when she goes to throw her hucks, drawing a foul out of the time, so the mark does have to adjust on that.
Crowley crossing. Easy pitch, Haruzhnikova downfield now. Caitlin, they're just passing and running back downfield, trying to speed up the offense.
Another miscue there with the Wild. Do you think it's jitters a bit? I feel like a few of the drops have just been miscues and maybe nerves. I mean, they've been on the stage last night and at Winter Cup. They're really going to have to dial it in here.
Yeah, attacking the same spot at the end zone. What a terrific grab there. Number 33, Amanda Maru. Falcons content to transition into the opposite third.
Sending it up the middle. To the outside of Manor.
We've got a wide open person in the end zone. The marker covers. That's good defense. Up line. Red zone offense for the Falcons.
Michelle
Big
McGee,
wide catch.
not quite in yet.
21 cutting up line, well covered inside space. It's another goal.
You know, that was good defense for the Wild there. That upline cut was open, so she had to peel off and pick the biggest threat, but it did leave her mark wide open there in the end zone for San Francisco to capitalize and make it 2-0 to start this game.
Montana Roberts really seeing the opportunity as soon as the mark changed their angle, was able to run right up into open space. Let's take a look.
Here's the big huck from Aragon again. Oh, what a big
Just
run and bid.
inches away.
Just fingertips away. There's that drop again. But here San Francisco is going to save the day. Amanda Maru with that bid. And then punching it in to number 15, Audrey Sheehy. San Francisco really coming out hot here. I mean, they started on defense both, or did they start on defense both times?
They've played very effective defense thus far. D-line has been giving the Wild some problems.
Wild's got a new O-line out here now.
Nice pull. Plenty of hang time. Great field position for the defense.
Great yardage gain there.
Harris able to make it down in time to put pressure right away. Wild up to the 50-yard line now. Their offense looks efficient so far.
Yep, they've had wide open cuts from the vert stack.
Great use of the wider field now. Mackenzie Perkett looking for the easy open shot downfield.
Just working it down
Transition
that open side.
into the end zone. Not quite in. Mackenzie looking, Mackenzie finding Jen Cogburn.
On the goal.
Great job, Wild gets their first point on the board tonight. Easily working it up the open side all the way down using a vertical stack. They made that one look easy, so if they can keep doing that, they're going to catch right back up to San Francisco.
You really get the sense that when they don't use the inside third of the field so much and use the outer thirds of the field, this Wild team seems like they're in much more of a rhythm.
Yes, absolutely.
Now we'll get to see San Francisco start on offense. Let's take another look at that goal. Not quite in there for Mackenzie Perkett. But great cut by Jen Cogburn, who fakes to the deep space, but then finds that front cone.
I love to see the Wild work in here. I mean, at Winter Cup, they were the winners of the Winter Cup, both 2-0 in play, as well as winning some of our fan fantasy, additions to the gameplay. So the Wild really came in here with a lot to hold up, right? People have had low expectations for them coming into the Winter Cup and high expectations now that they've kind of set the tone. So we'll see how that translates on the field.
Rolling pull. Sally Mims to pick up. Good upline look. Very cautious approach by the Falcons on offense. That's the second upline strike. Their handler set's moving well.
Absolutely. I was just about to comment on that. It's like we played Ultimate before.
It's like we played Ultimate, a deep shot.
Big shot to Patricia Anderson. I love it when a handler runs from the handler space deep, you know?
Anderson looked like she had an opportunity there. Looks like miscommunication on the timing. Uncharacteristically impatient from the Falcons.
Yes, I agree. Patricia's usually the one putting up those hucks.
Oh, what a bid there.
Immediately a turn, but what a good bid to try and save. Oh my goodness.
Wild play.
Big series of turnovers.
There's a lot happening. People are moving really quickly, maybe a little bit too quickly, especially with that breeze picking up, and these discs are floating with that breeze and a little bit of that stadium wind.
Vlack scanning downfield. Nice inside space found.
That's a big gainer there.
Jess Olsen. Pass sails. Defended well by Shayla Harris, who gets up to make sure that's caught and doesn't go into any unlucky hands.
Almost a D there by the Wild. Good positioning. They're looking deep, maybe.
Terrific mark by the Wild. Falcons able to stretch that space, testing up and around Shayla Harris, and it's caught for a score. Jem Bazzini making a good read as that disc decayed away from her.
Good patience by the Falcons, kind of reeling it in after several throwaways on both sides during that point.
Harris, terrific cut, followed up by that back shoulder throw.
Absolutely. Let's see those plays again. Looked like they might have had a hand on that for the D there, but great bid by the Wild. Shayla Harris puts it up. It's missed just above them, knocked around. Let's see it again. She makes easy work of that D.
Yeah, Harris in space. There's that back shoulder
Nice
attack.
grab.
Now for the Wild, number 8, Molly Robbins was in good position to defend it, just didn't get to the disc in time.
And Jem's got long arms, so, you know, good positioning by both, but sometimes it's just outreaching the other.
Harris is so active right now that we're seeing her able to walk onto the frisbee every once in a while because her defender is left guessing.
She's a great player.
Aragon looking for an in-cut, Cutter looking for an out-cut.
Great run through D. Michelle McGee for the Falcons.
Up the middle now for the Falcons. Looks like there was contact even though there was a drop. Izzy Clater calling a foul. She's going to talk it over with Jessie Crowley.
Uncontested foul. Keeps the
Crowley's not going to contest here.
San Francisco maintains possession. It looked like that might have been a little bit high on the stall count there. There wasn't a lot of openings.
That's great pressure by the Wild, forcing that unforced turnover, if you will.
Now, if you're joining us for the first time watching the Western Ultimate League, the stall count is actually only 7 seconds versus 10 seconds. Oh, what a great layout D. Oh my goodness.
What a terrific block by the Falcons. They take over in favorable position, attacking underneath. Now looking for upline space right away.
There's a pick called.
We'll have a stoppage. Jacqueline Wynn scanning downfield.
Violation called. Big thank you to our observers. We've got Brian Bradburn and Paul Otto observing for us today.
The Wild with a 45-degree mark trying to stifle that inside look. Let's see what Wynn does with it. Stall count high. She finds the inside space anyway. Favorable location. It's a catch. San Francisco comes away with another score.
Another stall is called.
And we come away with another stoppage of play.
Uncontested stall.
Uncontested stall, so that's a turnover.
It's going the other way. The Wild are going to try to tilt the momentum early.
As I was saying, there are only 7 seconds to throw the disc versus 10 seconds in standard USAU Ultimate rules. 7 seconds isn't a lot of time to move the disc. I mean, you've got 1 to 2 counts to look upfield, and then you basically have to get it to your handlers as a dump. It is very easy to get stalled out, especially as this league is just beginning.
Miller looking up line. It looks like it's going to be defended well. Michelle McGee taking control.
Oh.
Lucky bounce for the Falcons. A wrapping cut, and it's a score. Great use of the wrap cut, getting the defender to bite one way, curling the other. Number 42, Jacqueline Wynn.
Amazing. We're seeing a lot of overthrows and miscues here, and I think of some of people not going to the disc. It doesn't seem like the fire is out there for the Wild right now. A lot of run-through Ds from San Francisco, and they are capitalizing on it, as you can tell by the score, 4-1, San Francisco over Utah Wild right now with 2 minutes left in the first quarter.
Pace is different in this game. Last night, I think we've had more stoppages of play in the first quarter than we had in the whole game last night. So a little bit slower of a game, a little bit more of a grind. Let's see how the Wild respond. They'll be on offense again. Score is 4-1, San Francisco.
There was that replay there, the overshot, but there was someone just in the perfect position to pick it up. I believe that was Amanda Maru who picked it up and sent it to Jacqueline Wynn for the score.
Got a good start. Pull rolled out of bounds. They'll be taking it at the brick mark.
Looks like Wild is running a vertical stack again.
28, Jess Olsen. She's been testing the inside spaces, content to dish it out.
Oh.
Olsen slips, and it's going to be a turnover. San Francisco's back on offense.
That is a bummer. And again.
A lot of miscues today.
A lot of
you
miscues.
Called it, Caitlin.
I think slowing down would be an okay thing for both teams when it comes to offense, and speeding it up a bit on defense.
14, Carolyn Black for the Wild, picking it up on the sideline.
Wild's lucky to get a second chance there.
Oh, it's defended. It looks like Maru read the throw. Stretching deep, and it looks like it's going to be overthrown.
That D was easily picked off by Jumbozzini. Another swing miscue there. But Wild gets another shot. How many turns is this? Is this 2 or 3 possessions each now?
Yeah, it looks like another turnover.
Right
Good field position now for the San Francisco Falcons.
Sorry, right in the red zone here. This is a tough spot to be. I mean, it seems easy, but it's actually really hard to punch it in when you're this close to the
Montana Roberts running the end zone set. Open space, and it's going to be another catch. Number 15, Audrey Sheehy.
I stand corrected. They made that look really easy. Sometimes you get so excited when you're on the end zone, you know, that you throw something crazy because you're just ready to score. But San Francisco, calculated, smart, patient there. They're looking real good right there in the end zone.
Yeah, really great execution on the end zone offense there. You can see that they lined up. There's a whole lot of discipline, action on the front of the stack, and then the auxiliary cutter came into space. Easy catch, another score for the Falcons.
Easy. So we got 49 seconds left in the first quarter, and the WUL, if you don't know, it's 4 12-minute quarters. We don't play to a score, we play to a time.
Let's take another look at that end zone set.
Perfect.
Nothing wrong with looking at basics done right. One more time. Falcons look like they're rolling right now, Caitlin.
Absolutely. But it's just the first quarter, and anything can happen. If Utah gets a little scrappy, like how they won Winter Cup, then they're gonna see that score creep back up and maybe even overtake the Falcons.
Wild working the disc left to right. Great bid in the middle to keep the play alive. That was number 34, Kendra Miller. Wild moving well now. Attacking that middle space again.
Corey Bingham with the grab.
Bingham looks like she's going to take her person deep. Wild in good position at the middle of the field. Risky throw, but it's going to be caught. Number 28, Jess Olsen. And a terrific defensive stop. Ali Suji with a diving block.
Oh, I love to see it. A lot of layout Ds from San Francisco already today. They came out fired up.
Looks like San Francisco wants a chance to catch their breath. Wild looked like they were moving the disc well. Then Suji decided it was time for San Francisco to get the frisbee back.
Suji decided no. That was a great D. I mean, that's what we're all here for. Let's see it again. Great save by number 28, Jess Olsen.
She's looking to...
Oh, what great positioning by Suji.
Yeah, Olsen was looking to put her cutter into the middle of the field to attack downfield subsequently, and Suji read it perfectly.
Yeah, I mean, we're all here for great ultimate, but we're especially here for awesome plays, layouts, big skies, big Ds. That kind of stuff gets me fired up, Michael. Wild regrouping here off of that timeout. Hopefully they can use this opportunity to kind of reset.
The Wild would really enjoy a quick turn and a score to close out this quarter. It'll be interesting to see what kind of defensive approach they go with to keep the Falcons from making a big gain too early. A no around mark. San Francisco gets it anyway. They're all the way on the other side of the field.
And that's time, so I believe It's possession now.
This is San Francisco's point to lose. They're going to stretch the defense.
Big
Falcons
hug.
got it wide open. Number 25 comes away with it. Han Chen.
Han Chen, perfect read. A beautiful outside in backhand. Easy work. San Francisco ending the first quarter up 6-1 on the Utah Wild.
Chen saw wide open field.
Let's see that again. Big throw. Tailing to the right, but number 25, she reads it perfectly and keeps it in.
She was so open that even a high floating pass like that, she had time to read it. We didn't get a chance to see that in the replay, but she took off much shallower than we saw on the replay. Created gobs of space for herself.
Absolutely.
Turned that play into much easier than it could have been. Great work.
So that's the end of the first quarter. It's anyone's game. I'm not sure what I expected coming into this, but 6-1 San Francisco Falcons over the Utah Wild.
The Western Ultimate League is sponsored by Breakmark Apparel. They make our players and our fans look great on or off the Ultimate Field. Shop the full line of Western Ultimate League team gear at breakmark.com. The Arizona Sidewinders would like to recognize our sponsors and partners: Bella Vista Vision Eye Center, the Phoenix Herpetological Sanctuary, Garn Mason Orthodontics, Raptor Canyon Cafe, and the Mount Lemon Cookie Cabin Pizzeria. Shop our new apparel collection at ArizonaSidewinders.com/shop to support women's sports and the Arizona Sidewinders. Pre-sale goes through March 8th.
Welcome back. Second quarter. San Francisco Falcons lead the Utah Wild 6-1. Second game of Sidewinders Showdown. Inaugural regular season play for the Western Ultimate League. Still sunny and crisp here in Phoenix, Arizona. That first quarter had some moments of brilliance, but a lot of stoppages of play, Caitlin.
And a lot of turnovers. There were multiple turnovers on both sides during several points. I think both teams maybe are a little jittery today. Utah, feeling like they have something to prove after a loss last night, and San Francisco playing their first game of the inaugural season.
Sailor Ong pulling, rolling pull. Be interesting to see what they do with this opportunity to set up their defense. Looks like Black will be on the mark. Look at this no-dump mark.
That's great.
Trying something different. This is the throw they wanted, but it's brought in.
Great effort by both handler defenders there.
Han Chen, great grab.
The Wild really shut down that dump and strike opportunity, which meant San Francisco had to do that big swing, which was very
Disc
contested.
is sent. Long and hanging. Defended well, but a stall call. The disc is coming back.
Big huck, classic huck from Patricia Anderson there, but there is a stall, so we'll see how that goes.
The Wild are getting exactly what they want out of the mark right now. They've frustrated the dump set and caused a high-hanging throw, and they were bailed out by a great catch. Now a stall called.
They lock down on that handler defense. I mean, that's important. If the handlers can't get it off, then they have to make a throw like that. And Wild really needs any opportunity here to get the disc back in their hands with a chance to score. Observer
Wild
ruling.
got what they wanted here. They're back on offense.
Great showing from the Wild on handler defense. All three of those defenders on the handlers were performing great. Got a
Black now
forehand
finding an
force.
inside space. Breaking around, it'll hang. It's brought in, it's caught! Diving catch, amazing play, Genesee Maya. It looked for a minute there that all hope was lost, but Maya coming in horizontally saved the day.
It looked like the two of them weren't sure who was going to get that disc, but quick communication there so that there wasn't a drop, and 33 came in and absolutely crushed it with a huge layout score. This might be the big play that Utah needs to get fired up to keep moving forward.
Let's see if we can get another look at that. Testing the back shoulder space by the Falcons, or by the Wild. It didn't quite work. But Maya was there running the whole length of the field and then sealing the deal with the layout grab. 6-2, San Francisco.
San Francisco receiving now.
Another rolling pull.
Let's see how the Wild shut down the handler D again. Let's see if they can do it again.
I bet dollars to donuts we'd see the same defense we saw before, and sure enough, Black shows up trying to shut down that dump. Really great mark by Cogburn there, but it's saved again by Chen.
Great save there by San Francisco. The Wild's doing a great job pressuring those handlers.
Cogburn causing all kinds of problems on the mark. Chen able to haul that one in.
There it is. Wild reels
Another
it in.
stop. A long pass.
Let's go.
Open
Is she gonna
field.
do it?
Into the end zone,
Perfect.
and it's caught. Molly Robbins.
I told you Wild just needed one big play to get fired back up. Here they go again with a huge D, immediate layout, hug to score. I mean, that was a highlight reel point in itself, just that moment there. Hopefully we can see that again.
Robbins had no doubt that she was going to be getting a look downfield. She took off straight to the middle of the end zone. It was great transition offense.
Let's see that again. Here it is, big huck.
While we have a minute, let's take a look at the previous score with that terrific layout grab.
Molly Robbins looking very excited. Loving, when you score a big play like that, you got to recap it with your teammates when you walk off on the sideline.
Nothing wrong
the
with that.
The adrenaline is high.
You get the sense that the momentum is shifting a little bit. The defense the Wild is showing is really starting to gain traction.
Great pull by Sarah Stoller.
Looks like we'll have... Looks like offsides is called on the field. Western Ultimate League rules don't have a lot of mercy for offsides.
Offsides means that if the pulling team, if any of the player's foot crosses the line before the disc leaves the puller's hand, it is offsides. San Francisco gets to take it at the 50-yard mark. Some discussion here. The rule set is new. They're probably asking.
Forehand force, Jess Olsen in the lane, trying to clog things up. San Francisco losing yards. Now more of a straight mark. Tough defense by the Wild on the handler set. San Francisco loses more yards here. Contested here. Bigham almost there for the catch. Chen wide open into space, looking downfield. Content to dump. Moving well now, decent patience, and what a block!
Great block.
Laying out into space, Cassie Williams for the Wild, and it's up for transition. Committee meeting on the 5-yard line.
It's conservation of greatness in one of these moments. You get a huge layout D there, but immediately putting it up, not the right execution, and a lot of players down there. Obviously, tons of contact. So
yeah, forgive me, the 15-yard line, looking to pop that disc right in front of the end zone with an away pass, but you get the sense that it hung a little too long. Too many defenders were able to arrive and cause a turnover. It looks like there's some contact on the play.
Got end zone eyes after that big D there.
Utah will retain possession on the foul call. Cogburn scanning the end zone.
Good end zone D by the Falcons, but there looks like there's a call. Timeout.
Be a timeout called. Looks like Kendra Miller will be picking it up. Wild in a very intriguing situation. Disc in center position. We're going to get a look at their end zone offense now.
Suddenly this game got a little bit more exciting for the Wild. Let's see this block again. Oh, great positioning, great timing, Great extension, number 9, a huge layout D.
Cassie Williams making a great play. Let's take a look at some of these Utah Wild jerseys. If you visit the Utah Wild Ultimate Team Apparel shop, you too can be the owner.
Absolutely.
Of some of these great looking shirts.
Rock a Wild jersey and rep someone like number 9, Castique Williams, with that huge layout D. You can get your own official replica jersey from Utah Wild. Ultimate.org/shop.
Westerners who live in the Northwest don't appreciate what it looks like to have a red mountain and a sunset. Utah Wild jerseys reminding you of just how beautiful that can be.
I mean, I'm a little biased because I think the Arizona Sidewinders jerseys are sick, but close second are those Wild jerseys. They are really cool. They really took advantage of the beautiful red rocks in Utah, southwestern United States, and made some super cool jerseys.
Miller checking the disc in. Defended by McGee. Looking for the inside space. It's high, and Cogburn's able to haul it in. What a tough matchup Cogburn is in the end zone.
Absolutely, especially when you're going to go right over the top with a break backhand floaty. I mean, she's tall, so that's the right move there. I mean, it's hard to mark that when you're fronting the mark, you know. She goes right over the top, left hand break to number 99, Jen Cogburn.
In both of her points that we've seen today, she's feinted so well in one direction and then is able to just explode into the open space.
2 goals for Jen Cogburn today. Probably the leading scorer for the Wild right now.
It's no surprise they put her at the front of the stack in an end zone offense set.
That makes sense. I'd do the same thing. If I was marking her, I would be a little bit nervous, not gonna lie.
Yeah, very tall and very mobile. It's a deadly combination.
Absolutely. I mean, that's such a good play off the front. I mean, and as a defense, you know it's coming. You know that they want to hit a break throw to the very front person in the stack. It's a classic end zone offense. But it's hard to defend, especially when you got height like Jen Cogburn does. Argon with the pull.
I think that was Kendra Miller with the assist.
The game is within 2 points now. San Francisco was up 6-1 at the end of the first quarter, and now it is 6-4 Utah. Utah clawing their way back.
We'll have a stoppage of play. Number 23, Sally Mims.
The call was retracted.
San Francisco retains the disc.
Flack on defense. San Francisco looking to dump. They're able to escape for now.
Utah playing really great shutdown D again on the handlers.
San Francisco always attacks up line after a dump. We haven't seen them roll into that play as effectively. The Wild defending that very well. High sailing pass. It looks like it's saved right now. Number 13, Jem Bazzini.
She was in the right place at the right time for that one.
Harris now to number 23, Sally Mims. Back to Harris on the open side. Wide side, forgive me. Able to find Mims again. San Francisco able to get the disc into the dump space. Harris is going to test it deep to number 2. It's defended.
Oh, what a D.
What a play, coming right into the space.
It does not.
Shea Wallen coming around for the block.
It's probably a foul call here, though. It did look like a pretty good D. And maybe there was contact afterwards. She is retracting, I think. Nope. She's taking an injury sub.
After observer discussion.
Let's see that again.
Number 27, Connie Chan coming off the field. Chan,
Yep. Very clean D.
clean D, beaten to the space, but sometimes you lose your balance there. It can be difficult
Yep.
to tell in the moment when the contact happened or if it was necessary.
Yep. Looks like she took an injury sub. In WUL rules, if you take an injury, you can actually sub out. The other team can actually sub out players as well.
Flack to pick up for the Wild. Swinging to Aragon, but
Just
it's wide.
Overthrown. Utah's going to have to clamp down here to stop San Francisco from punching it in again.
Shea Wallen on D now. Easy score in transition. Sally Mims, front cone.
Sally Mims on the goal.
You get the sense the Wild weren't ready to set up their defense yet.
No.
They weren't ready to turn it over.
Great defensive play by the Wild there with that layout block. But San Francisco gets an immediate second chance, and they punch it in the front right corner. Let's see it again. Overthrown. San Francisco sets up their end zone and puts it right into that front right corner. Textbook. There it is.
Mims with a great move to get Aragon out of position, making that play look easy.
San Francisco extending their lead over the Wild, but I'm not going to lie, I think the Wild are fired up now. It's looking a little bit cleaner. They're looking a little bit more excited to be here, and you could see that by those 3 scores that they marched back to back to back right after the first quarter.
San Francisco. I agree, Caitlin. You can feel the energy change a little bit for the Wild. They're in this game. Moving the disc wide.
Big throw.
Mackenzie Perkett high and wide. It's almost defended, but it's hauled in by Sarah Stoller. She goes to the other side of the field
There
right
it
away,
is.
and it's caught by who else?
Corey Bingham. My girl. I'm surprised that didn't get D'd. It definitely hung in the air there, probably a lot more than that Wild thrower expected.
I
but
think we
they
saw
reeled
the
it
frisbee
in.
go left to right a whole lot more than we saw it go north to south.
I believe that was Stoller on the assist.
Bingham putting one on the board. Let's see it again. Big outside in. It floats. It hangs. Oh, 24 reels it in. Sarah Stoller. Corey with the grab.
That looked like Mackenzie Perkett
Oh.
with the assists.
Bingham getting some well-deserved water after that score. It's warm out there, folks. Hopefully both teams are staying hydrated, lots of electrolytes. If you're not used to playing in this kind of heat, especially on turf, it's a little bit hotter on turf than it is on regular grass field.
Like a big green skillet.
But it's better than most Arizona fields, I'll tell you that much.
Certainly.
Glad to be on this turf. What a beautiful stadium, the home stadium, Mountain View High School. Really appreciative that the Arizona Sidewinders have this as our home stadium, and we're able to host this event this weekend.
Olsen with the pull. San Francisco's back on offense. It's contested, but it's brought in.
That was a great bid. Number 28, Jess Olsen, with the attempt on the D there.
Unforced error for the Falcons. The Wild are back on offense. Black in the center. Great catch there by Jesse Crowley. Going to be a foul as the runner contacted the disc.
Looks like it's uncontested there.
Uncontested foul. Leave the disc with Utah.
Wild back on offense. An unforced error. Immediately in transition, the Falcons attack deep to space.
Back-to-back drops here. Let's see which team can clean it up to put another one on the board. We got 5.5 minutes left in the second quarter.
San Francisco testing the upline space. Another stoppage.
Another fun rule fact from the Western Ultimate League. On most stoppage plays, there is a pre-stall before the disc comes in. So you can actually move for 4 seconds before the disc is tapped
Coming
back
in
in.
4. 4.
There's the
3,
pre-stall.
2, 1.
So unlike USAU rules where you can't move until the disc is tapped in, with the pre-stall, anyone on the field can move for those 4 seconds, but the thrower cannot throw the disc before those 4 seconds are up.
The Wild doing a good job of pushing San Francisco back. And now a deep shot into open space. Chen coming forward, but it's blocked.
I did not see that coming. Gotta go to the disc. That Wild player had the fire to go get that D. I would love to see that play again. Utah getting another chance, taking it in on the 25-yard line.
Unforced error, the tables are going to turn.
Could see how defeated she was after that throw. It's not characteristic. It really sucks when that happens, to be frank.
A lot of fatigue. High arching blade, and it's caught for the score.
San Francisco took advantage. A lot of unforced errors in that point, and one huge D. San Francisco capitalizes, extending their lead 8-5 over Utah.
Mims protecting that catch, making sure that was a sure bet.
What a play. Number 23, Sally Mims, all smiles. Let's see it again. Big huck.
Chen looks like this is all but in the bank. And we still can't see the number of the player who made that play. Mims, though, sliding catch. Great work.
Oh my gosh, that D really, something else there.
That
just
looked like number 33, Genesee Maya.
You just see it's so unfortunate when you're the defender and you're like, I got this, and a player just comes out of nowhere and takes it from you.
That looked like Genesee Maya, who made that amazing horizontal catch in the end zone earlier on for the Wild. Wild back on offense, taking advantage of the Falcons not getting down on defense on this pull.
I thought they were going to send it deep on that one. They decided to swing instead. Wide open undercut from
They're already
Kayak.
past the 50. Barushnikova underneath to Bigham. Bigham scanning downfield. Bigham swinging, but to whom? Going to be another unforced error.
A little uncharacteristic. I don't remember this many unforced errors from Utah Wild last night.
McGee in the middle of the field. Big swing. This is going to be hard to grab, and it's defended well by Bigham.
Great positioning there, Corey, especially when it was over their heads. Put a block on her stats there. Big throw from the Wild.
Into deep space, and it's caught. It's a goal. Number 34. Kendra Miller stretching the field well.
Great possession by the Wild there. Heads up play for that D from Bigham, and then Kendra going deep. Beautiful outside in backhand huck there. Bringing the score 8-6, San Francisco over Utah. Closing that gap just a little bit. Let's see it again. Big throw.
Miller getting behind McGee, and that set up an angle that looked very appealing
Great
to her
awareness.
teammate.
I don't know if I was that throw. I'm not sure I would have put that. The defender was right on there, but that's all. You know, that's what ultimate is, trusting your receiver to get open and be in the right position. And she was. She crushed it.
San Francisco back on offense. Let's see what the Wild do on defense to try to generate another opportunity. They were able to make San Francisco very uncomfortable on offense a few times, and it happened right after one of these rolling pulls.
So let's see it again. Let's see if they clamp down on those handlers. San Francisco, I mean, their handlers love to throw it big, love to work it, and Wild's doing a good job of clamping down.
Anderson picking up. And here they are, Caitlin. They're clamping down, just as you said. Black stopping that easy dump. Chen open in the middle of the field, and it's going to be a deep shot. Looks like it's going to be hauled in. Number 4, Julia Ting. Now an easy pass, finishing the job. Connie Chan.
What a great play. What a great bid. I mean, Utah Wild defense did what they were supposed to do. If if they are forcing San Francisco to make huge swings, those are hard. So that's what they're trying to get them to do, right? Big swings that could possibly be overthrown or defended. But San Francisco made quick work of that one anyway, sent it up. What a great bid by Ting and score by San Francisco Falcons.
San Francisco feeling the pressure and then responding.
Let's see that again. Big huck.
It's just Ting and the disc.
Beautiful. Oh, and in
bid.
slow-mo too. I love it. Easy dish pass to close it out to Connie Chan.
That deep run and the layout, fantastic play. We really have to appreciate the follow-up cut as well. She was all alone.
That's, again, what I talked about, trusting your receivers. We talk about that a lot on the Sidewinders, is trust your receiver to be there. So she trusted that, that Ting was going to get it and ran all the way down the field in order to finish out that play.
Yeah, Chan with the follow. Baruzhnikova now for the Wild. Looking to answer. Another errant pass.
Not sure who that was for, but San Francisco getting a chance on offense now.
McGee centering the disc to an in-cut. Errant pass.
Good bid to try and save the possession there, but it's just off of their fingertips.
Vesper Aragon for the Wild, picking up. She's known for her long passes. Let's see if she's able to make something happen. Good work downfield by the Wild, cutting Hrushnikova. Stoppage of play.
Utah did a great job of moving it quickly to the break side. That quick break mark up, this is exactly what they're going for. Great save, number 34.
McCready doing work in the middle of the field, taken over by Kendra Miller. Hrushnikova in the middle. Red zone offense, and it's too easy for the Wild, moving that disc left to right. That's a goal for Mackenzie Perkett.
Great elbow spike. That's my personal favorite goal celebration. Wild did a great job on that one. So if you saw Vesper, they broke it. They went to the break side right over the top and immediately swung it. Obviously, there was a pick called there, but the idea is to get it immediately to that break side, to send it up up that side, completely open for Utah Wild to punch it in. So I think that's what they were going to accomplish there in their offense. And while there was a call and a couple of miscues, or not miscues, but a couple of different throws there, that's what they wanted, right? Up that break side, completely open space.
And that's my mistake. I saw a 1 and thought it was McCready, but there were 2 1s. It's Kayla Crisp.
Kayla Crisp has 2 assists so far this game. The score is 9-7 San Francisco, Utah. Utah coming in hot there, getting closer to catching up to San Francisco. We got 1:37 in the second quarter for half.
Ong to pull. Another rolling pull. The Wild don't seem to care about field position on these so much as getting in position for that defense that's been so effective later in this quarter, putting pressure on San Francisco. Big mark now. San Francisco has to settle for an inside, and it's turned over.
That was a great D. I mean, I'm giving 90% of that D to the mark for forcing that. It was probably getting high in that stall, and then Utah finished it out.
Sailor Ong checking out her options, finding Vlack in the middle. Looks like a timeout's called. Utah wants a chance to think this over.
Absolutely. Maybe they'll even trade in their offensive line now that they have possession. So again, when you take a timeout, teams can switch out their lineup. So, you know, defense started on the line, but if you get possession and you have a timeout to burn, you know, they got 1 left for this half, why not use it? Switch in your offense here.
Number 9, Cassie Williams on the mark on that play.
Huge wingspan, yep. Really made the difference there for that throw. San Francisco had to force a throw that wasn't 100%, and the defender finished off that play. Great heads-up play, great defense by Utah.
We're guessing we're going to see more of that defensive set by the Wild for the rest of the game.
Worked for them. Beginning, it wasn't there, and then they made it work, and yeah, you look at the score, right? They're within 2. They were down by 5, and now they're within 2.
Gentle wind today, 4 miles an hour. Almost negative humidity. It's going to be a little hot on the turf there. 77 doesn't feel hot in Arizona, but when you're out there on the turf in the sun, that's a hot day.
It's hot in the sun, and it's cold in the shade up here in the booth.
After an hour in these conditions, you're going to feel zapped.
Absolutely.
I think we can really see that on some of these miscues. Handlers expecting the cutters to deliver into space. Cutters aren't moving.
Yep. Probably a bit tired. I mean, Wild did just play last night. The game was late. We played at 8 o'clock till 10.
Rapid turnaround there. Jessie Crowley scanning downfield.
Good defensive pressure by San Francisco.
She finds Mackenzie Perkett. Hrushnikova back across the field. Caitlin, you get the sense the Wild are getting a little bit more efficient on offense.
Absolutely. And I think did they swap out their line here to an offensive line? They did. That's the right move there for Wild. Kayak with the disc. Oh! That's a bummer. Just enough lift with that wind out there that it sailed out of bounds and out of reach.
Chen with a diving grab. Inside space. Big gain. And now into open space.
Shayla Harris.
Harris to the front cone. Too far.
It's out of bounds. Utah's getting another chance here, their offense line.
This Chen-McCready matchup is a very interesting one. Both of them are dominant presence downfield.
We've been saying Chen's name a lot. She's had a bunch of great grabs today. I think more than one diving grab to save the possession.
McCready working so hard for the Wild in those open spaces, and here she is again. Chen defending. McCready with a nifty break.
Great crossfield break there to the other handler.
Wild have a lot more field to work with. It's tipped and then recovered by Jessie Crowley. Advance now. Barushnikova in open space. Getting an offer downfield. It looks like she'll holster. McCready again. It's at the end of the half.
Utah with a chance to score here.
And it's not quite there.
Almost took out one of our observers there with that very outside in, with the hopes that it would come back in to the field, but it did not.
What a hasty pass.
Good effort there by number 13, though. Jessie Crowley, good bid. Let's see it again. Tried to toe the line, not quite there.
That's a tough look. McCready saw her player raking across the end zone, thought she was going to drop it into space, but the wind didn't cooperate and it just hit the deck.
That's the thing, though. When the quarter buzzer goes off and you have possession, there's no reason to force anything when you're on the end zone, because if it's turned, right? It's over. So maintain possession, take your time trying to score there instead of force it, because you don't get another chance to get it back. The quarter's over.
The Wild really wishing they had capitalized on that opportunity, but should feel pretty good about how they responded to an early deficit.
Absolutely. Much better quarter than the first quarter. I mean, Utah absolutely got the fire, started playing really great defense, had some great plays, and their offense looked a lot cleaner.
That's going to be 9-7 San Francisco after a fiery comeback from the Wild with a new defense. We're going to the break. We'll see you on the other side.
We believe that women and non-binary athletes deserve to be seen and our abilities showcased for the world to see.
We believe in perpetuating Ultimate by establishing professional teams and developing future generations of players.
We believe players of all identities and backgrounds deserve an equal opportunity to be recognized and lauded for our achievements in our sport.
We believe in sustainably and responsibly creating equitable and accessible avenues for women and non-binary athletes to join and participate in our sport.
We believe that being transparent,
open,
and responsive to criticism is critical,
and that there should always be space
to fix our mistakes, grow,
and be better.
We are the Western Ultimate League.
WUL is giving women and non-binary folks space. And I think, like watching the power behind the WNBA last year, the political changes they were able to make happen, what the women's soccer team has been able to do. I love that pro sports are encouraging female matching players like to take space. Like, we're worth watching. We can compete at a high level. We push each other.
Welcome back. We're at halftime. Western Ultimate League, San Francisco versus the San Francisco Falcons, Utah Wild, 9-7 San Francisco so far. We're going to send it down to Caitlin Doust for an interview. Caitlin, where do you on the sideline?
So much. My name is Caitlin Doust, and I'm here interviewing number 11, Ali Suji from the San Francisco Falcons. You guys have had an amazing game so far. It's 9-7. You guys are up. How are you feeling so far, and what does San Francisco have for us in the second half?
Feeling good. I think we're all just like really excited and happy that we get to play high-level ultimate on this beautiful sunny day. Yeah, and I think we're planning on just coming out with a lot of intensity, and yeah.
Perfect. You've had some great plays already today. What has been your favorite play so far?
I don't know. I really like, I feel like my team is just like giving it their all, and like everybody is putting it out there. We've had some like really great saves, and like second attempt, just like trying to maintain possession. Yeah, awesome.
Awesome. Ali Suji, number 11 from the San Francisco Falcons. Thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. Back to you.
Thanks, Caitlin. Yeah, that's a point well made. The Falcons doing a great job of keeping the disc alive, even in the face of
Can you send someone over for a while? They were supposed to have someone.
In a moment, we'll go back down to the sideline to talk to some players from the Utah Wild. Until then, each team will be making some adjustments. We'll try to pick up on the other side of the break. San Francisco 9, Utah 7.
The Western Ultimate League is sponsored by Breakmark Apparel. They make our players and our fans look great on or off the ultimate field. Shop the full line of Western Ultimate League team gear at breakmark.com. The Arizona Sidewinders would like to recognize our sponsors and partners: Bella Vista Vision Eye Center, the Phoenix Herpetological Sanctuary, Garn Mason Orthodontics, Raptor Canyon Cafe, and the Mount Lemon Cookie Cabin Pizzeria. Shop our new apparel collection at ArizonaSidewinders.com/shop to support women's sports and the Arizona Sidewinders. Pre-sale goes through March 18th and orders ship on March 28th. Get your support women's sports gear today at ArizonaSidewinders.com/shop.
Kayak number 22 from the Utah Wild. Kayak, you were playing incredibly out there. You guys clawed it back. It was you were down by 5, and now you're within 2, 9-7. Really attribute that to the defense. So how are you feeling right there, and what else you got in store for us the second half?
I'm feeling super hyped up. We've had some huge plays, especially defensively, so expect more of that. Like, we have some ballers out here, and you might not know their names yet, but you will very shortly, because we have a lot of talent here in the Big Sky, and I'm so excited to showcase that and just showcase women's and non-binary sports here.
Support women's sports.
Support women's sports, baby.
That's the way to go. So what did you guys do differently in the second quarter than the first quarter?
I think we just honestly got out of our heads, started playing our game, started playing confidently, trusting each other, and just like showing what badass athletes we have on this team.
I love it. That's Kayak number 22 for the Utah Wild. I had the pleasure of playing with her during the West Showcase last summer, and she is showing her chops out there. So thank you so much, and good luck.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, Caitlin. Really interesting emphasis on defense right now, as the Wild are going to try to bring their way back into this game. Each of these teams is going to have to make some adjustments at halftime. The teams with the 21-person rosters have a whole lot of opportunities to make personnel adjustments. So how consequential some of these person-to-person matchups have been. Wild especially looking to cash in on their marks. Let's take a look at the first half stats. it looks like there's not a lot of clean holds. We would pretty much expect that given all the turnovers, with 15 and 18 turnovers, San Francisco and Utah respectively, and 5 breaks for San Francisco. It looks like for San Francisco, their opportunity to cash in on defense has been the real difference maker so far. Teams with an equal number of break chances. This looks like a defensive contest, but it's been all about how the defense plays offense. Teams looking to take the field again soon. Will be interesting to see as the wind starts to develop in this second half, just as it did last night. That's going to change the way that this game is played. We're going to see the Wild really try to swing the disc left to right a little bit more. That's been successful for them so far. We'll see how the conditions play along. Another interesting point here as the teams take the stage. We'll be having another 2 games this weekend, and this is a sprint and a marathon. We'll have each team playing 3 games in one weekend, which is an intense amount of activity at the pro level. You can see the slow start from the Wild at the beginning of this game. Very important for these teams to stay on their game even as their legs start to feel tired. It'll be interesting to see what San Francisco's second game looks like. We've got another game tonight featuring the Arizona Sidewinders and the Seattle Tempest. Second half to start soon. San Francisco slow to take the field. The Wild waiting patiently. They'll be receiving on offense. And we're off. Decent distance on that pull. The Wild are up and running. Terrific defense so far. Hruzhnikova, who we just spoke with, now in the middle of the field. Wide open, coming underneath. Wild looking smooth out of the half. What a grab to save the play.
Oh, heartbreaker. Great defensive pressure from San Francisco there. Wild maintained possession, but
a great play by Chris, but can't quite make it happen there.
Yep, just can't make it in there on the end zone shot.
Kendra Miller looking for an opportunity, defending McGee.
And there it is.
It's turned over. There's a quick turn. Let's see what the Wild do with it.
The Wild, again, great defensive pressure on the handlers. This is making the difference for them in this game.
They don't seem to be in a hurry to set up their offense. Let's see what they've got up their sleeve. Crowley up over the top to Kendra Miller.
Perfect. I mean, again, we saw that earlier from San Francisco. We've seen it again from Utah Wild. They're in zone. They just hit a break side or an open shot to that first player in the stack. It's hard to defend. It's bread and butter, right? That's what all the teams run, and it makes sense.
Yeah, some of these plays have more moving parts than oftentimes we give them credit for. Miller's got to work pretty hard to shake her defender so that a high pass like that isn't blocked.
Let's see it again here.
Yeah, Crowley up and over the top, and she puts a pretty good move, Miller does.
Yeah, the key there is pushing them over to the open side so they're just a step off of you, and then you have all that freedom to the other side, and it's on the thrower right here to throw a break throw.
Really great throw by Crowley.
Absolutely. Utah scoring the first point of the second half, our third quarter here today, bringing it within 1, right? This is the closest the score has been since the game started.
Since we started.
It is 9-8 beginning of the third quarter.
San Francisco on offense.
Wild hustling down on that pull there.
Back to the middle of the field to Chen. Chen, easy look in the middle. A little too hot, and it's a turnover.
Utah has a chance to tie it
with
up.
this mark. stifling the downfield looks for the Wild. And it's thrown behind.
Sometimes it's hard to gauge how fast your cutter is going. Sometimes you just hit the wrong spot, but now San Francisco has it back in their possession, looking to increase their lead
back
here.
to Shayla. She's going to release it into deep space, and it's going to get blocked.
Looks like there is a knee injury here for the Wild. Definitely some contact there.
That looks like number 10, Chrissy Maruyama.
Ugh.
Injured
Hope
on
she's
that
okay.
defensive play.
A lot of bodies coming in for that. The disc floated just high over the intended receiver. I think this Utah Wild player came in to help clean it up, but there ended up being a lot of contact. Let's see it again. Players on the field taking a knee in respect for the injured player. Here's that play again. Just over. Ooh, it didn't actually look like there was contact with her knee, which is worse.
Maruyama on her feet.
We do have trainers on site. That's who is in the blue shirt there. Really grateful for their support here. After an injury like that, it can be really hard for both offense and defense to come back out and feel fired up. It's hard to see a teammate go down. It's hard to see an opponent go down. We can only hope for the best here.
Yeah, that's a turnover for the Falcons. You get the sense that Harris saw a space that quickly disappeared as her throw hung in the wind. What looked like a throw into momentum quickly became a double, triple covered throw.
Yeah, just enough wind here to make things interesting. San Francisco may sub some players out as well here.
Cogburn looking to pick up. To Vlack now. Easy inside space, and that's gonna be snagged by Cassie Williams, who finds another inside shot underneath. Wild moving with momentum.
Are they gonna put it in that back right corner there? Looking to swing instead.
Cogburn dumping across the field, and what a block! Shayla Harris.
Great layout D by Shayla Harris. It's no wonder she is a standout player. We definitely love to see stuff like that from her.
We were on a crash course to a tie game, and Harris decided it wasn't time for that.
No, but if Utah Wild can clamp back down on their handlers, they could have a shot right here in the red zone. They are literally in the end zone right now defending.
That's a tricky throw. It's corralled.
Oof.
Chen saving the day. And another attempt at a deep space. A player on each team there.
Oh.
And it's grabbed. Katie Swinnerton, what a catch. Back to Harris. Scanning in transition. Easy space, but it's a miss.
On that deep shot, there was some great positioning by both players. You know, it was anyone's ball there. I wasn't actually sure San Francisco was coming down with that, but that throw was just out of reach, and so now Utah Wild has it back on their end zone. How quickly things change. Let's see if they can work it up.
The Wild back on the attack. Switching fields. Wide open underneath, but trying for something deeper, and it's going to pay off this time. It looks like we'll have a stoppage of play. Molly Robbins. Hopeful this one's not going back. What a terrific attack into space by Robbins. Number 8 for the Wild. She's going to get to keep it. Defended by Harris. To Cogburn.
Resetting.
Who's looking upfield and is going to stretch the field one more time, but it's going to get blocked.
A little bit of a rush there with Utah. When all of your players are behind you, yes, the right call is resetting it. Oh, big throw, but it looks like it's going to get defended.
Shen's got an idea here. Can't quite make it. Sailor Ong defending well in that deep space and finishing the job. Easy inside opportunity here. Wild don't want to get clogged up for too long. Vlack.
Gonna be a deep shot here.
A deep shot to Robbins.
Is she gonna close on it? Oh.
A little too far today.
It was a good look. She had the positioning, you know, she's got the speed, but it was just a bit too far there. Probably again picked up by the wind.
Efficiency on the deep game by the Wild, not as high as they'd like.
No, there's been a lot of turnovers from both teams this point, and again,
speaking of which,
an unforced error there. Wild once again has a chance to tie the game here.
Black picking up. Wild look to control.
Nice grab.
Terrific grab. Into the end zone. That's Cassie Williams, number 9. Molly Robbins, number 8. Great grab in transition. Then an easy look to that front cone.
And would you look at that? The score is now tied at 9s in the second half. Let's not forget, in the first quarter, Utah was down 6-1 to start the game. They really dialed in, got scrappy, clamped down their D, cleaned up their offense a little bit, and climbed back.
Credit to Cassie Williams for making that run in transition. That really broke this play offensively open for them.
Let's hear Shayla's D again. Oh, amazing. Oh, I could watch that over and over and over. What a great D. Full extension. Here's the score. Big throw. Reeled in by number 16, Shay Wallen there.
Yeah, I believe that was Robbins to Wallen. With number 9 Williams with the work on the gainer. That was my mistake.
Let's see if Utah can take the lead now with a big D.
McGee
there it
blocked.
is. Kendra picks it up in the middle.
Kruzhnikova catching it in transition.
Utah another chance
Miller
here.
back across the middle. Aragon back to Miller. Not a lot of action going on downfield. Try to find that inside space and it's blocked.
San Francisco back on offense. Most of their players are behind them though, so smart to reset here while they get positioned.
McGee with a long pass, but it'll hang. 2-1.
Wild cleans it up. One more chance for the Wild. It's been a lot of huck and turns here.
A lot of stoppages, a lot of turnovers, some terrific defense.
Absolutely. Patience is the name of the game here. I think they just got to work it in rather than rely on those big shots.
Miller to Kruzhnikova, back to Miller. Miller scanning downfield. Oh, but it's defended.
What a D. Maybe a foul there.
Jacqueline Wynn filling the space well. Looks like a lot of contact. We've got a player on the ground. Kruzhnikova talking it over with the observers.
Calling a foul. Love to see that replay. Here it is. Kendra sends it to Kayak. Ooh.
Kruzhnikova's got to think that it came through her arms. The
So
observer doesn't think so.
That surprises me a bit there. I definitely think that that contact was
McGee
it
with
was
power
foul.
position. It looks close. High pass to the end zone to McGee. Can she toe it in?
I think she did.
It's a score. What a play.
What a play. Great awareness there to reel it in, especially when it looked like it was just about to go out. They're calling it bookends.
That was Wynn with the D. And then the toe drag at the end of the end zone.
San Francisco maintains their lead. Utah had a chance. Here it is again. Big huck. Let's see her toe the line. Great play.
Wynn makes that drag.
One more time from a bigger view. What a play. The disc was out and came back in and just in time for her to toe the line and make that score. Jacqueline Nguyen, 2 goals, 1 assist, 2 blocks, 1 turn. Those are pretty good stats. She's been a standout player so far this game.
Certainly. She seems to be everywhere today. High floating pull.
Ooh.
Wild able to sneak in their first pass.
Got a little nervous on that one.
Losing yards, looking to scan, looking left to right here. Another miscue.
San Francisco now going to pick it up at the 45-yard line.
McGee to pick up. Upline offer here, but the pass sails high. Has anyone caught it? What a save.
Did she save that?
Yeah.
Oh, without any body contact.
Number 21, Montana Roberts.
Those
Back to
other
McGee.
two.
Roberts attacking backup line. Another upline look. A terrific attack by number 16, San Francisco.
Good holster there.
But it's time to move the disc. A dicey throw. And it's caught. It's hauled in. Number 11, Ali Suji.
There was a lot happening in that point.
A stall was called.
No contest there. It is not a score for San Francisco. Utah Wild getting possession again. That 7-count stall count is there's been a lot of stalls this game, I will say.
It was a great upline strike by San Francisco, but you just get the sense that they needed to get rid of the disc a lot sooner after getting a favorable position out of there. Here's Vlack back to towards the middle of the field. The Wild in transition offense. Looking to swing it. Have a nice look at that front cone.
Swinging again.
Back across the field.
Yes.
We've got an open person in the back of the end zone. They're able to, not quite able.
Not quite. But that was a good play. I mean, not forcing it in that front right cone when it's sort of open but not really, and instead swinging it. You know, the more you swing it on that front end zone line, the more chance you get someone breaking out from the sack that's open. So that was a great shot. Unfortunately, it was just a little bit too high there.
Great timing by Crisp. Not the easiest throw to work with. McGee to pick up. San Francisco finding a nice gain underneath. This is just what they need to get off their own end zone line. Wild really giving them difficulty on these dump passes. Liza Chang scanning downfield. Great grab with plenty of momentum.
Oh,
and a deep shot.
There it is. Great positioning by Kyla Crisp there. She got on that inside shoulder. Got that hand out there to D it.
Suji just took off and looked like it was all but over.
It
but
floated.
Crisp managed to close the gap.
Absolutely. That was a great defensive play there.
Wild back on offense, and it's a deep shot right off the bat. Number 24, Sarah Stoller. Can she do it? She's got it! She's got it on the end zone line. What a play!
What a grab! Are we going to hit Corey?
Easy for Corey as she releases into the other side of the end zone. What a play. What transition offense for the Wild.
Absolutely.
It is 10-10. A minute 14 left in the third quarter. How the fortunes of the game have changed
so quickly. Crisp with a huge D in the end zone right away, moving it up the field. Great layout grab by Sarah Steller, just reeling it in at the last second. Let's see that D again. Crisp getting inside, extending her left arm for the D. And here's that huck. Sarah Steller's layout right at the fingertips. Look at that. What a grab. Oh, man. Saved. Dump and a perfect swing hit to Bigham.
Yeah, when you're outnumbered in that situation.
Sarah showing off her war wounds there from her bid. I mean, that disc was about to hit the ground. She just scooped it right up. Love to see that.
Yeah, what a play. And to keep composure and run a great transition offense set.
Absolutely.
They were outnumbered. San Francisco was outnumbered, and the Wild knew it, and they took advantage. Made sure there were no errant passes that time.
Got about a minute left in the third quarter now. Scores tied 10-10. Oh, Utah Wild.
Cogburn getting her arm in there. Shayla Harris not able to bring it in.
Cogburn has just been a stellar player today, play after play, giving Utah a chance to score with 1 minute left and maybe take the lead for the first time.
Now, Utah at the end of the last quarter rushed it a little bit. They left a point on the table. Let's see if they bring a little bit more patience here. They have a chance to take the lead.
I think this is a new Utah team since that first quarter. I think that they'll have the patience and they're going to punch it in right here.
Back to center. To Ong, who sets it up in the air. It's going to hang. Chen looking to make the defense. But it's caught. It's brought in. Unbelievable. Number 33, Genesee Maya.
Unbelievable. There it is. Almost.
Got wide open
shot
in the end zone. Wild have to love this situation. It's going to be tough to be patient now.
Patience is the name of the game here in the red zone. Can't force it. 7 seconds left.
To Cogburn. Cogburn looking downfield.
Pick called with no time left on the clock. Called that right before the buzzer went.
Maya has been the author of so many big plays this half for the Wild. Getting that catch in traffic, and then the second opportunity. We've got zeros in the quarter. Cogburn looking to stick it in this side.
Utah.
It's brought in. A high
Molly
catch. Molly Robbins.
Once again, Utah takes the lead at the very end of the third quarter, 11-10. What a game, Michael.
Robbins ripped that out of the sky.
Absolutely. She is very tall, very athletic. Her timing is great. Her athleticism is incredible. I mean, she got up and ripped that out of the sky. She's done that multiple times. Let's see those plays again. Here is the save. It's, oh, I can't believe that. It's defended by number 25, but 33 manages to keep it. Here is the throw, assisted by Cogburn. Just says, no problem.
That pass was so high, bringing it to 11-10 now, advantage to Utah Wild. We'll see you after the break.
The Western Ultimate League is sponsored by Breakmark Apparel. They make our players and our fans look great on or off the Ultimate Field. Shop the full line of Western Ultimate League team gear at breakmark.com. The Arizona Sidewinders would like to recognize our sponsors and partners: Bella Vista Vision Eye Center, the Phoenix Herpetological Sanctuary, Garn Mason Orthodontics, Raptor Canyon Cafe, and the Mount Lemon Cookie Cabin Pizzeria. Shop our new apparel collection at ArizonaSidewinders.com/shop to support women's sports and the Arizona Sidewinders. Pre-sale goes through March 18th and orders ship on March 28th. Get your support women's sports gear today at ArizonaSidewinders.com/shop.
Welcome back to the fourth quarter of what we now have is an incredibly close game. The Utah Wild taking the lead for the first time this game, 11-10, off the back of some incredible play and high-flying catches.
Michael, it is anyone's game at this point. There's Jen Cogburn, number 99, with 2 goals, 1 assist, and 2 blocks for the Wild so far. Real standout player today. Utah just manages to take the lead in the last, really no seconds left in the third quarter, and let's find out if they can take it to the end, or if San Francisco is going to show their dominance and come back like they did in that first quarter.
Here we were thinking the Wild were going to be patient and methodical on the line there towards the end of the quarter. Cogburn slicing the disc to the other side of the end zone.
Hey,
and Robin saying, I'll go up and grab that.
Yeah.
I'll take a lead.
Whatever works. Utah's a scrappy team. I mean, they make it work. So there's actually only 6 games in the season, Michael. I don't know if you know that. It's a short season. Utah Wild, I mean, this is really important for them. They lost last night. Winning today would mean a lot, as it would to the San Francisco Falcons as well. San Francisco plays Arizona tomorrow, but Utah Wild really needs to clinch this win.
Falcons attacking up line this time, but the pass will sail. We might have a call.
Uncontested foul call,
Caitlin, this is the first time that I can remember where the Falcons have dumped it and then attacked up line and gotten something out of it. Not quite
the Wild has been playing that great clamp down D there to prevent that. Once they saw they were doing that in the first quarter, they adjusted in the second quarter, and it hasn't been working for the Falcons as well since then.
Even then, that power position, they're just back across the field now.
Good pressure.
Chen into open space. What a cut. Chen into the end zone to Shayla Harris. She's able to tow it in. It's going to be a score for San Francisco.
Tie game, 11-11 at the very beginning of quarter 4 in the first 50 seconds of quarter 4.
Chen just broke that open.
Yeah. Photographer there checking to see if he got the action on camera in the background there.
Yeah, that's a beautiful pass by Chen.
Shayla is wide open. As a previous commentator I worked with before, Jeremy says, acres of space.
Acres of space.
Acres of space.
Can't say enough, though, about how dire things looked for a moment for San Francisco. The Wild looked to be clamping down, and then Chen charging into that open space, really busting the defense.
Chen has been doing a lot of work for the Falcons this game. She's coming up every other throw. She's a great player. They are lucky to have her, a real powerhouse on that team.
Win to pull. Wild trying to retake the lead. Aragon. Break. Another shot on the break side. Cogburn's got it. Back to Aragon.
Big swing here. Just what they want to do.
To Bigham. Bigham looking back across the field. Centered here, the Wild look in control.
They do. They look patient. They look methodical.
Back across the field, snagged.
Right on the end zone line.
Was she able to tow it in?
Was it in?
She's got it. It's
All
good.
right.
That's Sarah Stoller.
Sarah Stoller. What a play. Utah looks a lot more patient on the red zone there than they have in many points.
11 crisp. She was able to get open right in time.
Let's see it again here. Nice grab.
There's Kyla Crisp reading
Sending
what the defense.
it to that corner.
And the defense gave up that corner.
They did.
Really solid work by the Wild. Moving the disc downfield.
Sarah Stoller, 1 goal, 1 assist. She had that amazing layout save on that huck just a few points ago, and now she's got a goal to round out her stats.
And this is something that we saw out of the Wild when they were playing their best last night, as they were moving the disc downfield with good pace, spreading the disc around.
It is really interesting to be up in the box and watch the game from up high versus being on the field like I was last night playing the Wild. It feels like a completely different offense and defense when you're watching it versus when you're playing in it.
San Francisco on offense, looking to answer. Well, Caitlin, to be fair, it was a very different game. It is a very different game.
And it's up, San Francisco.
Will that be in?
Score. Oh, stall called.
Stall called on the play. San Francisco looks like they'll be sending it back.
Han Chen reeling it in there for the almost score, but stall is called on the throw, so we'll see.
You know, there have been some exceptional plays in the deep space for the Wild, but they're just not a team that can afford to hold the disc.
I agree. Again, here's another stall. We've had a lot of that this game. It doesn't necessarily indicate the skill of the handlers, but rather how well the defense is playing, clamping down. Most of the stalls, I think, have been on San Francisco because Utah is just clamping down on those handlers and getting them up to those high stalls.
Yeah, I agree 100%. Back to the middle, San Francisco. Working it upfield, and away pass. Too much. Chen can't track it down. Don't know if anyone would have been able to.
Yeah, that was just out of bounds there. Utah is going to get it right on the end zone line here.
Black to pick up.
Black's been playing great handler defense, by the way. I have been really impressed by them.
Now wide open release upfield, but it's a miss.
Is there a call?
Looks like there's going to be another stoppage. Jess Olsen looked like she was going to be open for another 30 seconds on that upline cut.
I think it's a timeout call. Was it a timeout from Utah before the turn?
Looks like it's going to be a timeout.
So if Utah called that timeout before the turn, Utah maintains possession. Definitely a kind of a different rule that the Western Ultimate League abides by. When the timeout is called by the coach, not necessarily like the player, when it is called by the coach, if the player has it and they throw it away, but it was called by the coach before that, they get to maintain possession. So that works out well for Utah Wild here.
And sometimes it takes a little while for the action on the field to reach our phone here in the booth.
Yeah. Look at these incredible jerseys. We pushed the Utah Wild jerseys before, but take a look at these beautiful Falcons jerseys. If you want to rep San Francisco Falcons, you can get your own official replica jerseys from falconsultimate.com/store. It looks like it's got long sleeves, hoodies, shirts, buffs, everything you could possibly want to rep your favorite San Francisco Ultimate Frisbee team.
Yeah, you're watching on live stream, so you couldn't buy a ticket. You want to support these teams, go to their apparel store and buy their merchandise. That's the way you can support Frisbee and Western Ultimate League.
The best way to support the Western Ultimate League and show that you support women's sports is financially helping them. We're a burgeoning league. We need that assistance. So please buy a jersey, support them, buy tickets, buy their apparel, really show that you support women's sports. Big hug.
Testing the deep space, and it's brought down by Cogburn.
Cannot believe that.
In the double team, doesn't matter.
I thought that was going to easily be scooped up by San Francisco, but Cogburn just elevates and rips it out of the sky over two San Francisco defenders.
Pass to Aragon is going to come back. It looks like there was a stall called. Utah looking to stretch their advantage. It's 12-11 with just 8 minutes and 50 seconds left in the entire game.
Yeah, would it have been a stall there? I don't think so. She didn't have the disc for that long. Was that what it was called? Nope, going back. Oh, they would have been over there. I see.
Retracted call.
Disc is in now, right after that pre-stall.
Aragon.
It's up. Will Jen bring it down again? Or, oh, what a grab!
And she did.
Oh, no.
It's dropped. Foul call on the play.
There was a lot of stuff happening there. I'm going to need to see a replay to make a call. You know what? Shout out to our observers. I need the replay constantly to see what happened. Here it is. 11 going up. It's tipped. Oh! Cogburn makes a bid, and it literally has it in her hands.
From here, it looked like Cogburn was going to collect it from the tip by Kyla Crisp.
I know. We don't have an extra game.
It's not that bad.
Okay. So are we sending it back? Is that right?
Back to Crowley, who's been moving incredibly well in the handler space. Whenever she's back there, things seem to move efficiently.
Disc goes back. Utah has a chance to extend their lead over the San Francisco Falcons by 2 after incredibly being down by 5 in the first quarter. Will they have patience here on the red zone, or are we going to see some slicing and dicing like the last time we said that?
The last time we thought there was going to be patience, it was a blade to the cone. The disc was destroyed on that last play. Crowley Kataruzhnikova with a fresh disc. Inside space, and it's caught.
What a grab. I am pretty sure that 52, Sam Applegate, actually foot blocked that, but it was still collected by Utah.
A huge, meaningful break. It goes to Cogburn, who managed to catch it on a postage stamp worth of real estate, just slashing towards the sideline.
Let's see this grab again from Cogburn, who absolutely shelves 2 players here. Here is the contested call.
Crisp to Cogburn.
But she finishes it out by scoring right here. in the front left corner.
You talk about trust. The game is on the
Listen,
line at this point, and Ruzhnikova trusts Cogburn to collect that.
I mean, and who wouldn't?
Very
3 goals.
ambitious pass.
3 goals, 1 assist, 2 blocks from Jen Cogburn. Listen, if I have the disc on the end zone line, I'm playing for Utah WUL, I'm hitting Jen Cogburn every time.
Just throw
My
it in her
money's on
general
her.
direction.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it in her general direction, and she's going to pull it down.
Utah 13, San Francisco 11.
I can't believe this. What a crazy game. First quarter started off a little different. Now Utah is in the lead 13-11 with 6 minutes left in the final quarter of this game. The first in the inaugural season for Western Ultimate League for the San Francisco Falcons, the second for the Utah Wild.
McGee. Centered now to Wynn. Wynn doesn't see a lot of things happening, but we've got a play developing underneath. San Francisco now dangerously close. Back to Wynn in the middle.
Swinging it back and forth here. Good patience from the Falcons.
Inside shot. Suji. It's caught close to the end zone, but not quite. Can San Francisco keep it together? Great mark, and now it's a block. Number 9, Cassie Williams.
Timeout called before that throw. So this is another instance in which we just saw that with Utah. Timeout called before the turn. So even though they technically lost possession there, the timeout was called before that throwaway happened. So San Francisco will maintain possession right on that front corner and have another shot to score.
Eliza Chang coming across there to collect the disc, number 16. Scanning the field, thinking she had somebody towards the sideline. Cassie Williams defending incredibly well. That's my mistake. That's Audrey Sheehy reading the field, trying to find Eliza Chang.
Yeah, and I think the stall count must have been high there.
Yeah, you could see the observer call the timeout, and then we saw the action unfold. We could see the timing of the event on the replay. Couldn't catch it up here in the booth.
Another chance here for San Francisco to close that lead a little bit. They're going to have to swing it off that line. It is really hard to be that close to the end zone in the corner and score there. So I'm guessing that they're going to look to swing it off that line and hit something on the open side there. Kayak on the mark.
Let's see what they have. It's up line. It's easy. It's Julia Ting.
I'm going to have to eat my words there because I just said that's really hard to score there. And it is, but they made it work. Got open for the score in that tiny sliver of the field that was left. San Francisco executing beautifully here.
Wild gambling on the mark, trying to shut down the dump.
Great upline cut by Ting for the score.
You get the sense the Wild didn't execute the defense they had drawn up on the board.
There's some fans up there in the stands watching the game here at Mountain View High School in beautiful Mesa, Arizona. This is game 1 of 2 today, doubleheader. Utah is up by 1. Offense is on the line.
Well, it's just minutes to go in this game. These
5
possessions
minutes.
become a whole lot more consequential.
Yeah, anything can happen in 5 minutes here, especially if we get down to the line. If one of the teams is up by 1, they're just going to hold the disc and maintain possession to run out the clock.
Tanner Roberts to pull, rolling around somewhere close to the 40-yard line. High pass into the inside space, and it's caught in transition. It's a collision.
Oh, my goodness.
Hoping everyone's okay.
Kayak came in to grab that score, but they're calling the trainer in. Defender came in to take the opportunity away, but the two bodies just collided. One of the scariest parts about playing Ultimate is sometimes when you're going at 2 different angles and you don't see the other person. Here it is again. Oh.
Both players with their hands on the frisbee at the same time. Eliza Chang trying to make a play. Not even sure if she saw Kruzhnikova.
I'm not sure either. That's the hard part. Sometimes you're so focused on the disc and you're coming in at a different angle and they're coming in at another angle and you don't see them. Observer issuing a yellow card here for, I believe, a dangerous play.
I don't know if I thought about that card.
Yeah, I think the theory there is that the defensive player should be able to see enough of the field to not commit to that space, just directly into the clear path of a cutter.
I agree. Now the yellow card doesn't really affect the rest of this game. I mean, if there's another one, then it changes, but it resets each game.
4.5 to go. Wild on offense, leading by 1. And it's blocked.
Run through D, Ali Suji.
Ali Suji, terrific positioning.
Foul called.
That throw didn't. It looks like the call is going to be made by number 30. Number 30.
38, Corey Bigham.
Corey Bigham.
Foul is contested.
Bigham thinks that there was contact by Suji running through.
So Utah Wild's going to maintain possession here. Stahl's coming in and Utah has another chance.
Kendra Miller to 13, Jesse Crowley. Crowley back to Miller. Incredibly consequential possession here to Aragon. Searching downfield. Crowley again.
Smart play by Utah, being a little bit more patience here instead of hitting it in the end zone. Good patience. There it is.
Back to
Good
Aragon,
reset.
and it's going to be an open cutter. Not quite able to get it, but it's a score now.
Great.
Number 34, Kendra Miller.
Yep, absolutely. Kendra Miller reeling it in there. Great patience by Utah on the end zone. Finally, I love to see it. They swang and they swang until they had an opportunity. Let's see it again.
Watch McGee sniff this play out and try to make the play. She just can't quite get there in time.
Great positioning. I mean, great extension there. Probably almost had a hand on it, but Kendra is a step ahead.
Miller with a great cut and good poise to catch that under pressure.
Great earrings, too. Look at those. I love those. She wore them last night, and I was like, it's hard to defend you because I'm looking at your earrings.
3 goals for Miller.
3 goals, 1 assist, 1 block for Miller.
Can't emphasize how important that point was to the Wild, who, after clawing their way back up into this game, is in danger of fading late. But now they're able to take a 14-12 lead with only 3 minutes to go in the whole game.
Utah extending their lead by 2. I can't believe it.
Another rolling pull.
Let's see what the defense has in store for the Falcons here.
Carolyn Vlack on defense again, trying to take away that dump.
And doing a phenomenal job there.
Open to space.
Great positioning.
Connie Chan able to bring that one in. Able to break the mark as well, get that disc back to center. San Francisco looking very smooth to Chen now, who's looking to an open upline space, but it's taken away by the defender.
Big swing.
Jambazzini looking for the end zone, finding Shayla Harris. Harris
dishes it in.
Too good. She finds Sally Mims. A nice quick fake and then open pocket of space.
Yeah, that last throw was almost too easy for Shayla Harris here. Reels it in, and there you go. Left-handed. Is she left-handed? Maybe she just sent that with her left hand.
Just very polished delivery to a wide open player.
San Francisco has got Shayla Harris with 1 goal, 2 assists, and 1 block today. Also 6 turns, which is a lot of turns for a game, but I think both teams have had an incredible number of turns.
Harris has been trying to bring something to this game that San Francisco needs, which is a player who's just going to dominate on that, underneath space and then try to deliver those deep strikes and the passes, but they haven't fallen her way, and that's the reason why we have so many turnovers for her today. Crucial possession for the Wild back on offense.
Michael, we've got 2 minutes and 17 seconds left in the 4th quarter. Utah's up 14-13 with possession.
Bingham. Back to Miller. Miller testing the deep space. Number 13.
Just out of reach.
Jessie Crowley going from that handler space into the deep space.
I liked that shot. Kendra Miller, that was the right shot. Just out of reach for Jessie, but look at this here. The shape of the disc was great.
Miller to Crowley.
Yeah.
You get the sense that if Crowley had taken 2 more steps, she might have been able to grab it, but that's easy to say when you're sitting in the booth instead of running on the turf.
Well, the shape of the disc was great. It was outside in. There is an unforced turn there.
Crucial second chance for
Again,
the Wild.
Utah gets another shot.
Kyla Crisp picking up. Kyla Crisp picking up.
Minute 30 left here. Utah really
dumping,
needs...
swinging,
Utah.
open field. Back to the middle. Mackenzie Perkett.
There is a call on the field. Timeout called.
Perkett found Miller slashing across the field, but the timeout was called before the pass.
Yeah, so we're in a tight spot here. Utah needs to score this point in order to feel comfortable in their last possession, right? Like in the last minute, because that's
the minute
it,
16,
right? Yeah.
This could be the last
This
point
could
of
be
the
it.
game.
If San Francisco scores, then it's anyone's game, right? That last couple seconds could go either way. Utah might be up by 1, but the game is certainly not over.
What kind of play do the Utah Wild have in their playbook to roll out in exactly this situation? This is a gotta-have point close to the red zone. It's not quite on the end zone line. This is a tricky space to work with sometimes.
I would say that they need to have the utmost patience and swing and swing and swing, and when the time gets a little bit closer, they can try and punch it in the end zone. But patience is the name of the game. I mentioned earlier that you can run out the clock if you're in the lead, which a minute is a long time, but it's also not that long. So could go either way here, folks.
The Wild offense is full of surprises today. For all we know, they're just going to try for one and done.
I know.
Right
I'm
off
on
the
the edge
timeout.
of my seat right now. I don't know which way it's going to go, buddy.
The next 10 seconds are going to be incredibly consequential.
I'm stressed for both teams. What an exciting game, especially after the first quarter.
Miller bringing it in against Harris. Looking dump immediately. Crowley. To Miller, back to Crowley. Crowley looking for something in the end zone. Miller, Gruzhnikova open but can't find her. Back to Crowley.
1 minute left in the game now.
Aragon looking at the disc, able to swing it back to the middle, back to Crowley.
Pick called. I mean, I'm not saying that I called it, but I did say lots of swings, lots of patience. That's what's happening. They're running out the clock here. They got
Miller
50 seconds.
inside space, and it's grabbed by Corey Bingham!
I eat my words again.
That high inside pass. Talk about trust.
Absolutely. That is her third score for the day, I believe. Doesn't surprise us.
Utah 15, San Francisco 13. What a pass by Miller.
See this again. Over the top. Utah Wild feeling real good now about this score. It's 15-13, Utah Wild up. We have got 49 seconds left in the clock.
Credit to Miller for the timing on that throw, and
Yeah.
credit to Bingham for not giving that cut away too soon, giving just big enough space for her handler to find her.
All about that teammate trust. Bingham knew that Miller could break the mark. Miller knew that Bingham could get open, and so they made it happen. San Francisco has to score here.
And they've got to score quick.
They got to score fast. They got to get a D fast. I'm not sure that that's possible in the time that we have left.
I have a feeling they have something in mind.
They could have a timeout left, too. I'm not sure.
San Francisco has got to find a quick score.
44 seconds on the clock.
And here we are again, a rolling pull to the near side.
Big huck.
Shen
Shayla.
trying to find Harris. Harris closing. Can't make it work.
I mean, that's the shot they have to take. 30 seconds left. Utah on offense, and really they just have to run out the clock here.
Black on the mark has done such a good job of taking away those easy passes that handlers come to rely on to feel comfortable.
I've loved watching them on the mark. Really shutting down that swing pass that they are usually looking for right away.
Their mark has been remarkable. Ong now. High sailing pass. What a block.
Foul called by Utah Wild on Chen.
Chen played terrific defense on that point. There might have been contact, but she recovered and got in great position. But it's up to the observers now.
Let's see this again here. Going up. There was contact on the back. I can see why the foul was called. At this point in the game, I probably wouldn't. I'd probably just let it go.
It looked like Chen went straight up.
Yeah.
Chen found the right spot, made a great read.
I mean, there's 15 seconds left, and even if San Francisco scores here, they have to score again. So
if I'm Wallen, I understand why you think there was a foul. Because there was contact. There's certainly contact. Yeah. San Francisco back on the attack.
They got to put it up.
Going into the deep space, trying to make something happen quick. Out the back.
Out the back. 6 seconds left here, folks. I think that's the game. Let's see one more big play from Utah here. San Francisco, if they can D it right on the end zone line, they could make this within 1 point. But the game, to me, it's done.
Black. Utah looking to hold.
The clock has run out.
We're at zeros.
That's the game.
And that's the game. Caitlin, what a comeback for the Wild.
What a comeback. First quarter, San Francisco up 6-1 on the Utah Wild, a 5-point lead. Second quarter, Utah claws their way back within 1 to 2 points, and now Utah finishes the game out 15-13, winning over San Francisco Falcons. What a game!
The story has got to be some of those big plays that turn the momentum in the second quarter and the third quarter for the Wild. Incredibly athletic plays, clutch moments by Meha, great grabs by Molly Robbins and Cassie Williams.
There were some huge grabs, some even bigger layouts. Great defense by the Wild. I'm here to say that the Wild defensive line won this game. They really made San Francisco's handlers, which they rely on, work way harder than normal, and that really sealed the deal for the Wild.
Number 99, Jen Cogburn, may beg to differ there. Some of her plays really made the difference. Able to do a terrific job of corralling errant passes, keeping the disc alive. What a surge by the Wild to take control in that game. Caitlin mentioned the defense of the Wild, but paying attention to the ways that the Wild were able to keep their composure on that end zone, on the end zone line in the end zone situation. The break chances really tell this story. Utah Wild with only 11 break chances, but surging ahead to win the game. The Falcons with 17 opportunities to break and weren't able to convert them. You see an equal number of turnovers by both teams, but again, it's that offensive efficiency that the Utah Wild found really on the backs of their playmakers, able to turn athletic, high-flying catches into a kind of offensive efficiency that ultimately allowed them to take advantage of break opportunities where they didn't get as many as the San Francisco Falcons. What a performance by the Wild. They had to feel a little disappointed with their performance last night against the Arizona Sidewinders. That game got more lopsided than they would prefer down the stretch. But with their performance today, surging in this second half and taking command, they're now moving to 1-1. And the San Francisco Falcons start the season with a loss. They'll be asking what went wrong and what they could have done differently here. They looked certainly in command at the beginning of this game. Efficient offense and a defense that looked to force the Wild into situations that generated really quick turnovers for them. They'll be looking to increase their efficiency on turnovers in the next game. We'll see what kinds of adjustments that they make. But for now, it's all Utah Wild, who have got to be feeling terrific after a big surge in the second half and a stellar performance by their downfield cutters, able to make things happen, and their handlers, who maintained a really remarkable amount of control. We saw last night a lot of turnovers in the handler set, a lot of miscommunications. Trying to find that inside space on offense didn't work for the Wild last time. This time, the timing between the handlers and the cutters allowed them to exploit that inside-out space, hang that disc out there, and let their cutters slash towards the sidelines and get some goals. We'll be going to the sideline for a moment. Be joined by players from the San Francisco Falcons first. Caitlin Dowse will be on the sideline to get the players' perspective on a remarkable contest. Let's send it down to Caitlin, who's joining us at the field.
Hi, I've got Con Chen here, number 25 from the San Francisco Falcons. One of the standout players today for the Falcons. Absolutely incredible plays. Obviously a disappointing end for the Falcons for this game, but absolutely incredible athleticism from both teams. How are you feeling right now? What are you looking forward to tomorrow?
Obviously losing is not great, but really excited to keep working on what we started establishing today with this team and building on it for tomorrow.
Absolutely. You guys have been working so hard this season, gearing up with your practices to really shine through, and what are you most looking forward to for the rest of the season?
This is a great opportunity to showcase women's ultimate, and as evidenced by this game, we have amazing players on both sides, amazing players within this league, and it's a really awesome chance to showcase that, and I'm super excited to see more of that going forward.
Absolutely. Such incredible athleticism from all of the women on both sides. Thank you so much, Connor. Really appreciate it. Great playing out there, and we'll see you tomorrow.
Thank you.
Yeah.
That stat line, Caitlin, I'm not buying it. The impact that she had on this game, the numbers do not tell that story. We pointed out a couple really momentum-changing in-cuts that she had to really break the defensive coverage open. Also, with her capability to stretch the field on deep shots, she wished she had connected on more, but a terrific performance. Speaking of a terrific performance, we're going to send it back down to Caitlin, who's speaking with number 99 from the Utah Wild, Jen Cogburn. Caitlin.
Hi, I've got Jen Cogburn, number 99 for the Utah Wild. Again, a stellar player, absolutely clutch for the Utah Wild this game with huge plays. And I've got Judah, her godson, here making his debut appearance on TV. What do you think, buddy? How'd it go?
Tell him, Judah.
He was stunned into silence because it was such a great game. Jen, you played so incredible tonight. Huge plays all across the board, but especially you. I mean, you guys came back from a crazy first quarter to really seal the deal here. So how are you feeling? What did you guys adjust to make this happen?
I think we were just hurting ourselves, and this is what we did yesterday, and we just kind of dwelled on it, and we just decided, after that first quarter, we decided let's just go play 3 quarters that we're proud of, and win or lose, let's just be proud of what we come out with this weekend.
Absolutely.
And I think we took it to heart and just decided to fight back and not hurt ourselves.
Confidence makes a big difference in translating onto on-field play. You got 2 games under the belt this weekend. You got 1-1. That's a respectable score. I love it. What are you looking forward to for the rest of the WUL season?
I'm just excited for our team especially to get more time together. We've only had 2 practices coming in this weekend, so the chemistry is rough coming from multiple states. Yeah. So I'm excited just to get, it's not about peaking now. Hopefully we'll peak later. But it's just so fun to see all these amazing athletes out here getting to play and getting to show the world what women's frisbee is about. Yeah. And everyone is just so athletic. Bless you, buddy.
Bless you.
And it's just such a great opportunity. I'm just so excited for this season and for all these athletes and for women's ultimate in general.
There's been a common thread. Everyone said they're super stoked about showcasing some incredible women's athletes. Judah says support women's sports. Thank you so much for tuning in. Incredible game from San Francisco and the Utah Wild.
And here we are. What an interesting game that started slow with a lot of calls and stoppages, but punctuated by incredible plays like those. A lot of defensive stops that we observed tonight, but it was all about the efficiency. Once those defensive stops were made, grabs like those, able to make the teams cash in on opportunities and make some exciting plays. Explosive action there, absolutely changing things. Play of the game, closing things out to Bigham. High inside throw by Miller. Thanks for joining us this time on an up and down contest. Utah Wild go to 1-0. We'll see you next time. Signing off for Caitlin Doust, I'm Michael Simeone. See you next time.